Good morning. Today we'll be seeing about esophagus. What is this esophagus? This is a muscular tube which is extending from your pharynx to the upper end of the tongue, that upper end of the stomach, that is the cardiac end. So we'll be seeing this under what is the extent of it, what are the different constrictions and different parts of the esophagus, then relations, at last blood supply, venous drainage, nerve supply. Applied aspect, that is your homework. So coming back to this esophagus, what is this? That is basically a muscular tube which is extending through your cervical region, mediastinum, that is your thorax, and even into the abdomen. So this your dividing extent is somewhat 24 centimeters in length and the diameter is around 2 centimeters. It is a mostly a luminous collapse, but whenever there is passage of food, it will be widened whenever you are taking the food or even any fluid, that is the water. Then extent of it, this is extending from C6. In this C6 we have lower border of your cricoid cartilage. From there it's extending to T11. At the level of T11 it's continuing into the cardiac end of the stomach. It is continuing with the cardiac end of the stomach. Before that it will be passing through your thorax. In the thorax it's passing through superior mediastinum and the posterior mediastinum. So what are the different parts you can see here? One is the cervical part, thoracic part, and the abdominal part. So out of this, the thoracic part is the longest. It's approximately 20 centimeters. Abdomen is 1 to 2 centimeters, and this will be cervical will be mostly around 4 centimeters. So the smallest one is your abdominal part. So these are the parts of it. So extending from C6, that is your cricoid, lower border of cricoid cartilage, till T11. So after C6 where it's entering the mediastinum, so it's around the upper border of your manubrium sternae. Then at the sternal angle it's entering into your posterior mediastinum. Then at the level of T10 it will be passing through the diaphragm, and then it's at the level of T11 it's containing with cardiac end of your stomach. Then coming to the constrictions of it. In this, what are these constrictions? These constrictions are important whenever you're passing any endoscope through the esophagus. So these constrictions are where the lumen is narrowed and there are chances of the foreign body getting impacted in that, and this is important whenever you are doing any esophagoscope. So where are these constrictions? So for these constrictions the measurements are done from your incisors of your upper jaw. So if suppose this is your mouth, then your pharynx, then the esophagus. So esophagus passes through the diaphragm. Below the diaphragm you're having this stomach. Now, so these constrictions are from 6 inches from your upper incisors of your upper jaw, there is one constriction. Then at 9 inches from your upper jaw there is one constriction. Then at 11 inches there is a constriction, and at last at 15 inches there is one constriction. So totally there are 4 constrictions. So where are these constrictions and what is the thing that is making this constriction? So at the 6 inches, that is where there is a muscle, that is your cricopharyngeus, that is forming this constriction at the level of 6 inches, which is from your incisors of your aperture. Then the 9 inches constriction is because of your arch of aorta, which will be related at that level. Then 11 inches, this is formed by your left principal bronchus. Then 15 inches is because it's going through the diaphragm. From there it's having this. So that is about the constrictions. Whenever you're passing, suppose you're passing a scope through this, so you'll be finding somewhat narrowed part at this 6 inches, that is formed by a cricopharyngeus. Again at 9 inches formed by arch of aorta, and again at 11 inches formed by your left bronchus, and 15 inches formed by diaphragm. Then coming to the relations of these different parts. So for this relations, we can divide that into cervical relations, then we have the relations of the thoracic region, then the relations of it in the abdominal region. First in the cervical region, so how is it, what are the relations of it in the cervical region? So this is a transverse section passing through your cervical vertebrae. This is a reference thing, so that is the cervical vertebrae. So what lies anterior to the cervical vertebrae? Pre-vertebral fascia, right? Then still anterior to that, this is your esophagus. Anterior to esophagus, there is our trachea. So concerned with this trachea, in between the esophagus and the trachea, there are nerves on the right and the left. What are those nerves? We'll be seeing that. Then after that, on either side, around this region, laterally, you have something called a sheath, which is covered by some structures, and a gland. So what are these relations? So this is relations of the esophagus in the cervical region. So this is in the neck, or you can say cervical. So what are the relations? Anterior part, posterior part, this will be our right side and the left side. So anterior relations, what are they? What is this? This is trachea. In between the trachea and the esophagus, what we have? This is your recurrent laryngeal nerves. So right and left recurrent laryngeal nerves, and the trachea, they are present in the anterior part. So what about the relations in the posterior part? So what is this? These are your vertebrae. So covering this vertebrae, we have this pre-vertebral fascia. Then lateral to this, what is this sheet? That is our carotid sheet with its contents, and this will be your thyroid gland, that is lateral lobes of your thyroid gland. So these are the relations of this in the cervical region. So what are they? Anteriorly, it's related with the trachea and the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Posteriorly with the vertebrae and the prevertebral fascia. On the lateral parts, or you can both on the right and the left, it's related with the carotid sheath and its contents and the thyroid gland. Then coming to the thoracic region. So thoracic region, so it's passing through your superior mediastinum and the posterior. So here, what are the relations of this? So we have anterior relations, posterior relations, right side relations, and the left side relations. So what are they? So suppose this is our esophagus. So first we'll see what are the anterior relations to this. this will be the trachea anterior to that. So first relation is this, and then apart from that you have a arch. So what is this arch? Then there is a vein. So what's happening to this structure? Trachea is dividing into bronchus, right bronchus and left bronchus. At last this esophagus is passing through the diaphragm, right? So what are the relations anterior to this esophagus in the thoracic region is, first thing is trachea. These relations are from above downward. So trachea, then below that you have the arch of aorta. So which vein is this? This is your pulmonary trunk. So from that you have this right pulmonary artery. Then below that this is your left principal bronchus. This will be diaphragm. And apart from that, when you have seen this sinuses, cardiac sinuses, there you have seen a sinus called oblique sinus. So this oblique sinus will be separating your esophagus from left atrium. So in this, even left atrium is anterior relation for your esophagus. So these are about the anterior relation. Then what about the relations of the right side? So what lies right to this in the thoracic region? This is the right lung. So mediastinal surface of the right lung, if you see there, you'll be finding an impression formed by the esophagus. And apart from that, what is the one of the tributary going to this superior vena cava, which is on the right side? Then it's forming an arch on this. So what is that arch? That is your arch of Oesophagus. So what are the two relations of the right side? Are your right lung, right pleura, and arch of Oesophagus. Then what about the relations on the left side? So what happens from this? Here we have an artery going from this arch of aorta upwards. So there is one artery. Then we have a duct which is related with your lymphatics, which looks something like a beaded structure. So this is sometimes on the, in the upper part it's on the left side, and the lower part it goes posterior to the esophagus. So that is one concerned with your lymphatic drainage. And there is one now which is passing here in this region. So what are all this related with your left side? So these are your left, these are the right relations. Then left relations are, this is the artery, that is your left subclavian artery. What is this now? Left recurrent laryngeal nerve. And what is this beaded structure? That is your thoracic duct. Then what's happening to this arch of aorta later? It's going down as descending. So you can even add some part of the descending aorta is also forming the relations on the left side. Apart from that, so what's lying in this side? That is your left lungs. left lung and the pleura. So those are your left relations. So what are they? Left subclavian artery, left recurrent laryngeal nerve, thoracic duct, descending aorta in the upper region. So, and it's even having relations with your left lung. So if you see the mediastinal surface of your left lung, there you can see impressions formed by the esophagus. Then coming to the posterior relations. So these are about your relations anterior to this on the left side, on the right side. So coming to the posterior relations of your esophagus in the thoracic region. So what are they? So for this we'll be seeing a transverse section of your thorax. This is the thoracic vertebrae. This is esophagus. So we have seen a veins which are very close to your vertebral wall. So one vein is on the right, one vein is on the left. So this is right side, left side, anterior and the posterior. So this is esophagus, so posterior to that we will be seeing this. Then here we have this in the lower part, descending aorta will be posterior to your descending aorta will be posterior to the esophagus. So what are these veins which are concerned with the venous drainage? So one right side is your azygous vein, left side is hemiazygous vein. So in this region, this hemiazygous vein at around T7 or T8, this hemiazygous vein will be at last draining into your azygous vein. This is then what is that artery? This is your descending aorta. So from this descending aorta, there we are having some artery which is going to the other side, that is your right posterior intercostal artery. Right posterior intercostal artery. So these are your posterior relations. So what are the posterior relations in the thoracic region? Vertebral column, thoracic vertebrae, azygous vein, hemiazygous vein, descending aorta, and right posterior intercostal artery. Apart from that, we have that thing, that is your thoracic duct. So this is relations of it on the esophagus in the thoracic region. The next thing is left is your abdominal region. So in the abdominal region, apart from this, we will be having on the right, we have the right vagus nerve, and on the left vagus nerve in the thoracic region. Vagus nerves, right and the left, they are related on the right and left side of the esophagus. Then coming to the abdominal region. So abdominal region, actually when it's going into the abdominal region, that is passing through the diaphragm, it will be piercing your right crust of the diaphragm. Then now the relations in the abdominal region, suppose if this is your esophagus, so what happens to this vagus now, right vagus and the left vagus. So left vagus, suppose this is your left and the right, anterior and the posterior part. So left vagus, when this esophagus is going into the abdominal region, this left vagus is going to the anterior part and this right vagus is going into the posterior part. So these are again named as the anterior gastric and the posterior gastric nerves. So this is nothing but your left vagus which is going anterior to this, and right vagus which is going posterior to the esophagus. So anterior and posterior relations. And apart from this, anterior to the esophagus, what we'll be seeing is, suppose this is your esophagus, diaphragm and the stomach. What is other organ in this region? Below your right dome of the diaphragm, we have this liver. So anterior to this esophagus, it's having this left lobe of liver. So it's forming an impression, esophageal impression is formed on the left posterior surface of left lobe of the liver. And behind this is having in relation with the left crus of diaphragm. So what are the anterior posterior relations in the abdominal region for this esophagus is anteriorly left vagus, posteriorly right vagus. Anteriorly it's related with the left lobe of liver, posterior is related with the left crus of the diaphragm. Then coming to the next thing, that is your blood supply. Blood supply, you are having arterial supply, venous drainage, lymphatic drainage. So for that we will be seeing writing it in a tabular form. What are this? Cervical region, then thoracic region and abdomen.